Well, I mean, I could have said it for 4:30, but I didn't know exactly what time we were going to get going. It just kind of depended on everything. And I'm going to throw it out right now that this is actually something that doesn't normally happen. Normally, Ashley's the one that watches the show, and I'm the one that's out in the dark because of work or other plans, or just I'll shoot with you guys, falling asleep. But tonight, it's the other way around. Ashley wasn't able to catch the show, to my knowledge, and I watched every second.
My weekly shopping happened right at the same time. Like, damn it.
This was an interesting show. Before we get started, I probably should run down the results from yesterday. Last night, they were in York Hall in London, and apparently there is a live report that exists that said they did a crowd of around 900 people. We had Mark Briscoe open up against Ryan Smile. Mark won with the marking out, cutthroat suplex, cutthroat driver, depending on how you want to call it. We had the addiction of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian defeating Rey Bucanero and Ultimo Guerrero. And Daniels got the win with feet on the ropes for added leverage on Bucanero. Jay Briscoe defeated Kenny King with the J Driller. And they were winning into Kenny King in this match, interestingly enough. And there was a four-way dance with Bully Ray over Jay Lethal, Silas Young, and Shaw Samuels. And they did the What's Up with Lethal and Bully won with a flying body press on the Shaw Samuels. Bully got on the mic and told Jay Lethal, ECW is my company, but Ring of Honor is yours. I'm obviously paraphrasing because I wasn't there live. Your current reigning and defending Ring of Honor six-man tag team champions, Dalton Castle and the Boys, defeated the unorthodox team of Mystico, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Delirious. With Delirious eating the pin. That's very random.
That's a bit different.
Team Random Mask is what I'm going to call them. Dalton Castle and the Boys defeated
Team communication is going to be complicated with that group, isn't it?
Oh my God. So Liger ended up grabbing the Boys at one point from Dalton, but in the end, Delirious ate the bangerang, and justifiably so. Hunter took the pin. How appropriate. And Kushida successfully retained the Ring of Honor World Television Championship in a matchup against Teton. Apparently, it was the match of the night. A lot of great stuff back and forth in this match, and Teton got locked in the hoverboard lock. But it ended up ending with the Back to the Future. After the match, Teton got a standing ovation from the vast majority of people, some of which have never seen him work before. Thank you for this update. Obviously, we would not have these results otherwise. And then in the main event, Los Ingobernables de Japan, which is Bushi, Evil, Hiromu Takahashi, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito, defeated the Bullet Club, represented by Marty Scurll, Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, Hangman, Adam Page, and Cody. And it was a crazy spot fest, as you would believe it to be, with the Bullet Club locking on a five-way figure four leg lock as a Ric Flair tribute.
Wow.
Bushi evaded all five moonsaults from all five members of the Bullet Club. Well, actually, four of them, until Marty Scurll actually hit one of his own, which is very interesting. Scurll knocked the wind out of himself right there. Daryl was on commentary for this match, complete with a headset and everything. And the Bucks pulled him into the ring, and they threatened to chime in a super kick party. But instead, Marty goes in and locks in the crossface chicken wing. Hiromu ran him for the save, and the Bucks super kicked him, and then they hit the Meltzer driver on Daryl.
Oh, shit.
Bushi missed it, Hangman, and Naito hit Destino on Hangman for the win. Cody grabbed the mic. He's like, I dedicate this match to Ric Flair. Marty says, I have ambition to run Wembley Arena for Ring of Honor. And then the Bullet Club celebrated like the baby faces they truly are with the ringside fans after the match.
Probably.
Thank you, Martin Bentley and Jeffrey Harris from P. Windsor for that update. Because obviously we wouldn't have had it otherwise, because That wasn't filmed.
Well, it's worth noting as well that I guess it's going to be up for VOD access because the commentators were there, hence why Daryl was on commentary.
We'll get to that later. So Chris Lynch is in chat. Yes, Chris Lynch, many times they were in Gary's throne. I will not be bringing them up actually during the commentary because they're not, they didn't really fit into the bigger high spots.
There was too many.
Yes. I will say Chris apparently met Bully Ray in a Tampa Chick-fil-A. So that's rather interesting. He tried to PC Cruiser. Weird. This is the things that you get at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
He wasn't there. He wasn't at In-N-Out Burger. Boo. Apparently that's where everybody has to go now. After bloody Tanahashi and Okada went there and loved it.
Oh God. We'll bring up. Thank you, Jeremy Mills, for joining us as always. And we're gonna have some fun tonight. This is gonna be, like I said, a really weird show, especially for all of you that are really curious about the fact that the one person on this network from the UK is not able to comment on the show that's from the UK. It's very bizarre. But real quick, before we get started with Ring of Honor, I do want to mention a big shout out to everyone that checked out our Destination X podcast from last night and listened to it live on Thursday night after the show was finished. We really appreciate it. Impact content's kind of half and half here on the network, but when we bring it out, we do appreciate that you guys and girls out there enjoyed enough to check it out. So thank you very much for following along this long pop weekend here on the Popcast Network. Ring of Honor right now, and then later tonight we've got NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, which is about as redundant as ROH War of the Worlds UK Liverpool Popcast. But that's what we're doing. Oh, in essence, since this is somewhat Ring of Honor discussion, a Hot Topic update. Hot Topic now has the Bullet Club hoodies available for purchase on their online store.
Ooh.
Yeah, Bullet Club hoodies are available on the store. So that means the last item left to be out there in the open is the official Elite shirt that is only for Hot Topic. So yeah, once that gets out there, I will certainly let you guys and girls out there know, because we are the ongoing leader of letting you know what merchandise from New Japan is in Hot Topic on the regular.
That's the way it's going.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just because everything today has to be good, I don't know whether we'll put it on NXT. Probably because of work schedule, no. So I think on this, because I want to talk about something.
Oh God, yes.
We better cover season 2.
Oh man,
the prequel season.
We can't talk about the. Okay, first off, if we're talking about this, I think we should save it, because honestly, I want to do it with Raw, because that's what we did last time.
Okay.
Last time we did it with Raw, so we're going to talk about season 2 or season 1.5. Incidentally, the Bullet Club hoodies are available right now, $54.90 on Hot Topics online website. You can find them, if you're lucky, at one of the local Hot Topics in your area. And right now, if you buy them online, they're only available in small, medium, and large. So extra, extra small, extra large, 4XL, 2XL, and 3XL. Yes, Super Cop Dick Justice can get a Bullet Club hoodie.
Good.
Because he needs one.
You should have one.
Then he'd be random Bullet Club member, Richter Justice in Impact Wrestling.
After reading your things for last night, like, Christ.
I honestly think I was probably one of maybe 15 people with that and knew who Dick Justice was.
He's
So
fucking RoboCop.
Eh.
Not seen that clip? You not seen that clip when he showed up at AIW? That's the one he auctioned off for. Who was it? One of the wrestlers.
Makes sense.
I can't remember which one it was, whether it was one that was injured or one that died. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he auctioned off his RoboCop suit from that. He only used it once, so it's like, And of course, it's going to be smelly because he wore it for the thing, and it can't really be washed. But I think it went off for charity. I can't remember for what or for who.
I'm trying to find out at this point, to be honest, but it's not really helping me very much. I do have something that apparently in an AIW show in 2014, Dick Justice did come out and sing Third Eye Blind. So that's a video that exists.
As well.
So we'll get to him probably more next week on Wednesday.
If you see him, ask him, because I want to sort of know if he is around for the shows on Monday and Tuesday. I'm trying to remember, but I can't think.
Once again, with everything that's going down and everything we talked about last night, honestly, I will state right now that I'm about half and half on going on Monday night. I know it's the SummerSlam, Raw after SummerSlam. However, if SummerSlam is not satisfying, I might go anyway, to be honest. Because it's still going to be covered and we're still going to do Raw. It'll just be, I guess, paying back for tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm going Tuesday for the Latin Appreciation Night, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Because apparently it's a AAA war.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah. So, yes, let's get to Ring of Honor. So this show was rather interesting. Like I mentioned before, it is the second of the UK show. Tomorrow, is it? Okay, I'm going to ask you, because I heard it on commentary from Ian and BJ, and I heard it from how I was watching the show. I was looking at the chat room rather feverishly, like I always do. And is it Edinburgh or is it Edinburgh, or how is it pronounced? You would know this better than I would.
So I'm got distracted by Tommaso Ciampa doing another glorious bomb.
Yeah, I saw that too.
What did you ask?
Is it Edinburgh? Edinburgh? How is it pronounced properly?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yes, pronounce it like Borough.
Right. Okay, cool. Oh, and apparently, if you were in the live crowd tonight, all merch sales at the building in Liverpool were cash only.
Wow. Well, makes sense. And I mean, it's not like, well, because I don't know whether the Olympia does. Probably drinks would be credit card stuff, but yeah, the reception was shit for the wireless receivers and anything. Then makes sense. With the Shikara show that I went to and the one I'm going to be going to in a few weeks is cash only, so
makes sense.
I'm making sure I have some cash.
I would. Speaking of that, signed for tomorrow is going to be the Addiction of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian facing off against Cody and Marty Scurll. That's your main event. We have Dalton Castle and the boys putting the 6-man tag belts up against the Young Bucks and Hangman Page. An Edinburgh street fight with Jay Lethal and Silas Young. That's built up from what's been going on a lot lately. Ultimo Guerrero and Rey Bucanero taking on Jay and Mark Briscoe. You see Evil against Bully Ray. And I'm telling you right now, the war between Bully Ray and Los Ingobernables de Japan is just heating up after tonight. We'll get to that later. Speaking of LIJ,
I do want to ask before anything, I know you haven't finished.
Of course.
Was there anything like Everything is Evil said on the show tonight?
Not everything is evil. No, we'll get to that. There's some things happen tonight.
Good.
So we've got Bushi, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito taking on Kushida, Mystico, and Teton. And then Hiromu Takahashi with Daryl taking on Mark Haskins and Josh Bottom against Kenny King in a non-title match. So the Rev Pro British Cruiserweight Championship will not be on the line.
Yeah, which was successfully defended at the Rev Pro show that happened on Thursday, which we'll cover obviously on Wednesday in full.
Right. I will say there's if you are in the area, if you're listening to this show, it's possible. You never know. And if you're able to get over to the area, there's actually going to be a signing at 5:30 p.m. time tomorrow. And that's going to be running for an hour with Ultimo Guerrero, Mystico, Titan, Dalton Castle, Silas Young, Kenny King, Jay Lethal, and Ray Bucanero. And then from 6:30 to 7:30, you've got Bullet Club members Cody, the Young Bucks, Marty Skrull, Hangman Page, as well as all members of LIJ, Sonata Evil Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito, as well as the World Television Champion Kushida. And then intermission will be Bully Ray and the Briscoes, 20 pounds for a personal item or an 8x10 and one photo. That's an autograph and a photo. And then, of course, you have the tag teams, 30 pounds, one personal item or 8x10 signed, and then a photo. So tickets are still available as far as I can see. So if you want to try to go, you still can. But if you want to go to Atlanta or Chicago,
if you're confused as to why we're talking about this event, even though it's I'm talking about tonight. Because obviously that's been the pricing stuff for all the shows on the UK tour. But yeah, just as a reminder as well, tonight's show hasn't happened yet, according to Ring of Honor's website.
Really?
Ring of Honor's website says the show is at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's why you asked me for clarification.
You're right.
Earlier, or last night or whatever. I can't even remember. If you go to their website and look at obviously the page won't be there, but it says 6 Eastern.
Right. Which is really confusing.
Because I don't think many people would want to go to a show that starts at 11 o'clock at night. Especially considering that quite a few of them will be doing it next week anyway for McGregor and Mayweather. Considering how certain... Obviously, there's bars that are going to be open. Even there's a whole load of bars doing stuff for SummerSlam over here. Staying open Sunday through to Monday, but they're doing, cinemas are showing the Sky coverage from like midnight until 7 in the morning, or basically however long the show goes. With the full undercard as well, which, I went through the undercard Wednesday. It especially with Nathan Cleverly on there, I'm actually interested. I didn't realize they were going to put a match that I was interested in. Not that I'm not interested in McGregor Mayweather, considering I don't even know what 24 hours times 7 is. And Owen can't do math, so.
But I get up again. So.
Or something.
We'll go with that.
It's a week anyway.
Yeah.
So, from what I've heard, part 1 of the Saturday night SummerSlam weekend has been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there were some decent things on this show. I'll get to that, don't worry. And because eventually we'll be there. I will say right now that I did enjoy this show. And I did do something right now that I haven't done in a long time, Ashley. I broke out the notepad.
Oh, shit.
Owen took real notes tonight. So the commentary team, Ian Riccoboni and BJ Whitmer, once again, Ian Riccoboni, otherwise known as Brock Lesnar from back in college. You've seen the picture.
I understand why BJ's there, but it's just, God damn it, Colt. Why do you have to do your comedy show?
Yeah. Why is Kevin Kelly not able to work these shows? I know why, but why is Kevin Kelly not able to work these shows?
How was Riccoboni throughout the whole show?
Weird.
Really weird. That's enough.
I'll get to it. Okay, Chris Lynch wants to know if I could dropkick Goldberg. Probably not, to be honest.
No.
I can't throw a dropkick very well because I don't really have a very big vertical leap. I've lost a little bit of weight, but I haven't been able to dropkick in a long time. I may have done one in my entire life, so there's that. One of the weird things about Ian's commentary, sometimes he's really on point, sometimes he's thrown off. He does misname moves every once in a while, but he does try. I'm giving him credit. And he ended up having to bump a couple of times tonight. But we'll get to that. Don't worry. So apparently we've got a new resurgence for a push for Kenny King.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with this.
Ever since that match that he had with Marty, I don't know whether it was for the title or not. I can't remember, but it was a couple of months back when he was still part of the Rebellion. Literally, everybody was like, why is this guy lumbered with this crap?
In the match that they just put on Ring of Honor television this past week with Kushida, which I actually watched before the show went live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny King, I mean, I've talked up Kenny King for a long time anyway. I mean, everything from Tough Enough to
another guy that was
Impact.
fucked over. Another guy that was fucked over by TNA.
Yeah, but he had a decent run in TNA though, honestly.
Yeah, but they dropped the ball with certain things with that. They were sort of pushing him at the wrong times, from what I remember. You know, when and I'd have to look at the title reigns that he had in terms of
to the interwebs.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he had a few X Division title reigns.
That's what screwed him over. So he obviously had some spell in TNA like early 05, 06-ish, back when it was even before the Spike days.
Right.
Then he was with Ring of Honor and with Rhett Titus, which was a great tag team.
Yeah.
And then it sort of fell off and they weren't doing a whole lot for like a couple of years. But then he signed to be part of the whole Ultimate X stuff. And then, you know why he had the problem? He got put in that beatdown clan.
Yeah, I could see that.
When MVP said Nashville live on television.
Yeah, that was that happened. We'll put it that way.
Yes. 6 months he was stuck in all that sort of stuff. Because he was randomly attacking people when it eventually unveiled the whole, you know, MVP stuff. But that's why I feel he was misabused and everything. But if you look at his 2-time X Division titles, let's see if I can get the. No, not Petey Williams. He took it off Rob Van Dam in 2013. And then I see Sabin and Manic and Aries and Sonada.
Right.
And Samoa Joe. And then he only had it for like 94 and 56 days respectively.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, he bloody lost it to bloody Spud.
Yep.
And then of course Spud vacated the thing like the same day because it was for the broadcast that was 2 weeks later when he was going for the World Heavyweight title. Because you know that's when Rockstar Spud wanted Dixie or whatever.
Ashley, in chat, I did have to mention that apparently Chris Lynch is asking some questions. He wants to know who would win a match between you and Cena versus me and The Rock.
I mean, well, we know because Cena wins low.
Yep, exactly.
Pretty much. Also, you know,
I'm eating the pin.
That tattoo. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm definitely eating the pin here. There's no way they'd let Rocky job out and imagine involving me.
Rocky deserves the job out. Have you seen the bloody Jumanji trailer?
I have. I saw it on the big screen, actually. When I went to watch The Dark Tower.
He deserves it for what Baywatch failing and Central Intelligence failing and pretty much everything he's producing failing.
Oh boy. So we get to this match.
Yeah, Kenny and Adam Page. Interesting combination, in all honesty. It doesn't seem obvious, really.
It's a short match. They give it about 9 minutes almost. One of the cool things Hangman Page did in this match, he walks the ropes, Undertaker style, or I guess you would say more like Jinsei Shinzaki, the Hakushi style. And the best way to put it would be doing that because he didn't really grab the ropes. He just kind of walked the ropes, and the next thing you know, he jumps down, and instead of dropping the elbow, he thumbs him in the eyes. I thought that was useful. So good match here. Go back and forth. I like this because at one point Hangman hits a quite literal Hangman's neck breaker in the ropes, and the fans jumped immediately chanting, "You killed Kenny." And Ian starts talking about South Park, but he can't mention South Park by name, so it's really awkward. That happened.
Well, I'm trying to think what I could have called it.
No, he just made mention of it without saying the actual word South Park.
North Arboretum.
Oh God. So yeah, this match was good. I enjoyed this. Eddie Gordo kick for a near fall. Kenny King at the flying guillotine off the springboard for a near fall. Hangman ended up hitting the buckshot lariat, which is the old Adam's apple, which is the slingshot lariat. And he goes for the rite of passage. It gets countered, and Kenny King hits an overhead kick and hits the Royal Flush and gets the win. Very interesting. Very interesting given the fact that, let me make sure this is correct before I say it because it's going to make me sound, nope, never mind. Because I have to count the four-way. I was going to say Paige is the only member of the Bullet Club that lost tonight, but I'm not thinking about the four-way. But then again, in the four-way later on in the match, Marty didn't eat the pin. So, yeah, there's that. This wasn't bad. We get our CMLL showcase with Ultimo Guerrero and Rey Bucanaro against Mystico and Titan. It's interesting. It's a very interesting match. At one point, there is a Tope con Hilo from Titan on Ultimo Guerrero, but he catches him, herks him up, and power bombs him on the floor. Rey starts trying to unmask Mystico, and they're acting hardcore Rudo in this match, very much. So they brawled on the floor, and apparently they did this last night in their match, and they're doing it again tonight. They set them up, they stack up the Technicos, and they hit the AWA special, which is basically what Mike Eunice and Wayne Bloom, the Destruction Crew of AWA, the Beverly Brothers, the Shaker Heights Spike, it was done to the midsection, not to the back. So if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. So I like the move that Ultimo ends up hitting. He hits Senton de Muerte, which apparently is a hanging tip up into a Bronco Buster, is the best way to put it. Or a seated Senton. Nice. Fans chant for it again. He gives them what they want. And Mystico hits a diving run to the outside on Ultimo Guerrero. Some really good stuff back and forth. Ultimo hits a top rope gourd buster for a near fall. Top rope Rana is caught and release powerbomb for a near fall. Ultimo gets hit with a moonsault by Titan, but he gets caught, and it's somewhat no-sold, and then it basically falls down anyway. So this is on the outside. So they get back in the ring, and Titan eats the Guerrero special, this time properly, and that's the end. So inverted superplex finishes it. They gave this match almost 12 minutes, and it wasn't bad at all, really. It's just, I mean, the crowd was really into it. It had a weird flow to it, is the best way to put it. It wasn't bad, but it had a very weird flow to it in the match.
Mm-hmm. So then, by the looks of it, next it was CMLL craziness.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was definitely a CMLL.
I accurately described it despite not knowing what it was.
Yeah, it really was.
I love this.
So then we get our next match, which is the Rev Pro British Cruiserweight Champion Josh Bodom, who comes off to me looking like a cross between Adam Page and Steve Corino. And I'm talking ECW champion Steve Corino. So there you go. Taking on Jay Lethal. Good match. Good stuff at all. So, of course, Jay went for the triple tope Suicida, and he gets cut off. And he starts working Lethal over. Hits a reverse Rana and a tope. Basically a triangle moonsault. Gets near fall off of that. Gets back in the ring. Hits the M. Bison. Standing shooting star press for a near fall. And they jockey back and forth. So at one point, they're up on the top rope. Lethal's fighting. And the next thing you know, he catches a back elbow. But he slips off the top, and he gets caught in the tree of Joey Lawrence. Bodom with a hesitation drop kick. But when Jay gets out of it, he hits the lethal combination. Hail to the King, gets out, and then, of course, goes into the figure four, which makes perfect sense. Here comes Silas Young. This is out for enough for a distraction. He runs Jay down, basically says you can't win the big one anymore, basically. And this leads to the lethal injection. But first, what ends up happening is an O'Connor roll by Bodom, and he gets an ear fall off of it because he kind of gets countered. Lethal with the tights, tries to get the 3 count, can't get it done, and then lethal injection out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, and Jay Lethal wins. After the match is over, Silas Young comes in, and they start brawling, and the referee, Chris Roberts, goes down in a heat. 2 referees run out for the save, and they try to pull them off, and apparently there's going to be the street fight we mentioned earlier. That's going to be tomorrow. So the next thing you know, they are shaking hands. That's Bodom, and of course, and Lethal. And Jay is coming for Silas Young to the back, and security better come out there quickly because he wants to take care of him once and for all. This wasn't bad on it, really. It wasn't. It was short.
Good showcase for Josh.
Yeah, I think so. He got a lot of shine in this match, and he got a lot of heat. I mean, obviously, you can't get shine as a heel, but he got a lot of heat on Lethal in the match. He proved that he belonged there, and he basically won Lethal's respect. And that's where we had the handshake at the end. I'd love to see these two work again.
Well, let's hope they sign him, considering... I mean, I don't know if Ospreay's still Ring of Honor, if he's trying to base himself out of Australia. I guess he could be.
I mean, yeah, totally. I guess it kind of depends, really, at this point. But then, oh boy. So what's going down in the world today? Obviously leading to craziness, which, of course, I don't know anything about because I don't read the news because I got enough things to worry about in life and the news. So we get our next match. 6-man tag action. The Briscoes and Bully Ray against Los Ingobernables de Japan, which, of course, is Bushi Evil and Tatsuya Naito. This is interesting. First off, Bully Ray comes off wearing a Liverpool Football Club scarf, and he actually is getting booed.
Well, the problem is if you've got Everton fans that are predominantly there.
Right.
It depends what the crowd is, in all honesty.
Right.
Then again, of course, if people have travelled over from Manchester, which is obviously nearby, then they will be booing the shit out of them.
Which makes sense.
So, you know, it all makes sense, yeah.
So, this match was really interesting. Bully Ray took every opportunity in this match to, well, let's just put it this way. It pretty much starts off with Bully Ray getting agitated by Bushi. Bushi slaps Bully Ray in the face and flips him off. Fans started chanting, "You effed up," justifiably so. Bully tags in, rips the shirt, yells "Bonsai," and open hand palm chops him.
Ow.
He calls for Naito. He says, "Come on in, Naito-san."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit.
Bully is using basically bad Japanese dub over from bad 80s movies.
Holy shit!
Pretty much. They both start working. They try to work lockups, and Bully at one point yells, "Now lock up properly," at Naito.
Wow.
Yeah, this was interesting.
Right.
They finally get the lockup. It's tied in, and of course, they work the headlock, and Naito works his knuckles into the side of the eye, trying to bust Bully open, obviously, because that's where the eye thing comes from. So then they worked a little bit, and we finally get the tag back into the Briscoes. You kind of work the tag for a little bit. Evil comes in, and they get to LIJ on top. Naito tags in Bushi, missile drop kick. And he does the choke on LIJ on. They're working the heat on Jay here. Mark finally gets in. He runs wild. He hits the Fisherman's Buster for a near fall. And that's not enough there because they come in and Bully Ray ends up hitting the bionic elbow. But he is a flip flop and fly, but he gets caught. Naito grabs the eye, of course, taunts at him, and he hits it. He hits the bionic elbow anyway. So they slam Bushi, they go up for the what's up, and it gets cut off. And then it's funny, LIJ does it. Bushi goes to the top, and he basically jumps off. Right before he's ready to jump off, he does the roll, does Naito, and goes right in the Tranquilo pose for the distraction. And this leads to Bully literally getting ready to take it. And instead of the headbutt or a leg drop, Bushi jumps off the top, and when the legs are spread, he basically just stops dead, and he straight drop kicks Bully in the nuts. Straight, and he yells out, "Alma balls," as loud as he can. Bushi goes to the top, hits the big splash, gets an ear fall off of that. So Mark comes in. Actually, Jay makes the save, so they basically go crazy here. Bushi with the mist. He accidentally hits the mist on Evil instead, and Bully and the Briscoes hit the three-way 3D and get the win. Here was interesting what happened after this. So they basically set up Bully Ray versus Tetsuya Naito. Straight up. This is going to happen. This match is going to happen. I don't know when, but this match is going to happen.
I'm trying to think when Naito's next available.
Let's just say that obviously Naito did the pose. Bully Ray did it back to him. So they did it back and forth, and it was very interesting the way they pulled this off. They're definitely building this because obviously we got Bully Ray and Evil tomorrow, but I think there's a good possibility we're going to get this. And with Naito just winning the briefcase, I don't know about the booking in New Japan, but
yeah, probably not.
I doubt it, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Then, of course, just to make it easier on me so I could relax a few minutes and take care of some emails, we got a 15-minute intermission. So that was good. That brought the crowd down a little bit.
Intermission?
Yeah, they had a 15-minute intermission. Jeremy, you're talking about the match, the singles match that we're about to discuss. You were talking about the six-man. Because I know you're mentioning one of them.
Cool.
And if you're talking about the match we're about to talk about, yeah, this match was really good. This was Mark Haskins against Silas Young. I enjoyed this. Silas in an apron bomb.
I'm pleased that they put this so high up, considering it's Haskins. I'm pleased to see.
Yeah, so Silas hit the apron bomb and a slingshot into a double stomp. And then he hits a middle rope back rake and a lariat for a near fall. He worked over Haskins momentarily, and then after he got the heat, Haskins fights back, and then he locks in the bridging Fujiwara armbar, which is the star armbar, actually, after Silas missed the 180 flying body press. So he gets the foot on the ropes, breaks it up. Mark locks in the sharpshooter, and that's not enough there. So he gets the ropes once again. They fight on the outside. They get back in the ring, and Young goes for the electric chair, hits it, running knee strike, grounded DDT for a near fall. And then Silas hits the Yakuza kicks in the corner, one to the side of the head and one to the opposite side of the head. And then he connects with the backbreaker into the lariat, which, of course, like the swinging boss man slam into the lariat. So killer combo, gets an near fall right there, and he goes for misery, gets countered. Here comes Jay Lethal out for a distraction. Haskins gets a flash roll up on the O'Connor roll, gets her near fall, and then misery goes one more time. He spins around with it, and Haskins counters into a Michinoku driver and gets the win.
Wow.
Really good stuff.
Wait. Haskins won?
Haskins won.
They're really putting him. Whoa. Jeez.
I'm very interested in the fact they put Haskins over. I don't think, to my knowledge, he can. I mean, he did, or he even can sign a Ring of Honor contract. But I don't know.
Sure.
Of course, to build more heat for their match tomorrow, Jay Lethal and Silas Young brawled in the back. So that was done really well. Then we get our four-way for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Kushida, which is great, of course, playing up on the Back to the Future theme as always. He's wearing a Pepsi Perfect patch on his vest. Thought that was cool. Hiromu Takahashi, who is out with Daryl, who has just a Band-Aid on his neck. We're good. Life is good. Dalton Castle.
He's
getting better. Yeah, he's doing commentary and everything. He's getting much better. Dalton Castle comes out with the boys, and of course coming out. I never noticed this before. Dalton Castle has the biggest ripoff of Queen I've ever heard before in a theme song.
Yeah,
it is I Want It All, without a doubt, and you cannot tell me why.
Well, keep in mind, I can't even hang on to the wikis. Dalton Castle wrestler. If you look at what it's called, the track is called Dalton Wants It Now. So, they're not hiding it. They're not hiding it.
No, they're not hiding it. That's good. So, yeah, that's something that happened. And, of course, the final participant is the villain, Marty Scurll. Had a lot of fans in the crowd. Came out, of course. Exactly. Big time. A lot of woo-woo chants. A lot of Bullet Club chants. A lot of Too Sweet chants. I, once again, will have to say that Cody and the Bucks are the shirts that sell out the most. Marty's the shirt that never comes in stores. Like, it's hard to find that shirt. It was. Now there's a restock on everything, but Marty's shirt was the hardest to find.
Mm-hmm.
As right now, I'm currently waiting for my Hangman Page and Guerrilla's Destiny shirt to get here, probably sometime this week. So, yeah, exactly. Dalton Castle. Dalton Wants It Now by Adam Massacre. So yes, that had to be mentioned. This match was interesting. Really interesting.
How has Chris been listening for an hour and a half when we've only been live for 40?
That's a good question.
So have we seen Twin Peaks? Yes, that's why we're marking out for the Fandango one so much.
God, yes, I love David Lynch.
What deodorant do I use? Celery. Trump Trules or Rules. We don't talk about him. Jay Lethal, has he murdered anybody? I guess he murdered Black Machismo. Oh no, sorry, TNA murdered that.
What about Special K?
Whatever.
We can go there. Your favorite pizza chain?
I don't go to a pizza chain. I guess Pizza Express. Have been in their restaurants like 3 times in the history of everything.
I legit don't have a favorite pizza chain because mine isn't a chain. Mine's just here. I guess the closest thing you would say would probably be I like Blaze Pizza. It's not everywhere, but I guess it's somewhat of a chain, but not completely. Delicioso Pizza, which is only available at Cabana Bay Beach Resort here at Universal. And that's about it. Splitsville. Splitsville is really good pizza. They're breaded chicken, barbecue chicken pizza, which you have to specially order because I have to be different because I'm such a picky eater, as you guys have known on Sip and Snack. So, and we are moving on. So, this match is weird, Ashley. Weird.
I was expecting it to be because it's a 4-way with like talented wrestler, talented wrestler, talented wrestler, and talented wrestler.
This match got a lot of comedy early on. So
obviously,
yeah,
because I'm actually going to look at this clip that is filmed by somebody in the building, and okay, there's some. I'm seeing a clip with Daryl and Hiromu and Dalton. I want to see what this is.
We'll get to this.
They're doing weird cat shit at each other. They're doing cat impersonations.
Yes.
What?
That's literally what happens. Dalton comes in, and right away, Hiromu picks up Daryl, and Dalton loves cats. And apparently, there's a video on Ring of Honor's webpage and on their YouTube channel where Dalton Castle visited one of those cat cafes that WWE fans would know that's what Natalya went to. And since Dalton loves cats, they start acting like cats.
Yes.
This was amazing in every way possible. I loved every second of this, being a cat person.
I approve.
Yes, Jeremy, very weird. I'm curious to see what you thought of this segment. So yeah, they went back and forth, and then out of nowhere, Hiromu is basically just Dexing. So then we started off. And at one point, he gets stuck between Marty and Dalton. So you got the peacock on one side, you got the villain on the other side, flapping his wings, and the next thing you know, here comes Kushida off the springboard with a chop. I like that. That was a good transition there. So of course we have Daryl on commentary with little headphones, and Ian keeps referencing Daryl on commentary, basically saying he's biting at the bit and everything. Daryl's really worried about his friend, and I'm like, oh boy.
To be honest, the way we're talking about this, Daryl's a better fucking commentator than bloody BJ.
Oh god! Oh my god! And Jeremy, you know what I'm talking about. Ashley doesn't because hasn't seen the show yet. Especially when Ian gets taken out later on in the show, and BJ's like, "Are you here? Come on, get up, help me do commentary. We need you."
Oh my god! Really?
We'll get to that in a little bit. Don't worry. Oh my god! So this match, good thing too. So Takahashi goes for the Sunset Bomb. And the boys are basically have to save Dalton because Marty's is basically attacking the hands. And right as soon as he loses his grip, he's about to be powerbombed on the outside. The next thing you know is instead of getting powerbombed, he lands on the boys, and the boys cart him around. And then Kushida just dives on all 3 of them. And I was like, yes! Good stuff here. Marty goes for the chicken wing, and of course he gets stopped because he took too long with setting it up, and Dalton hits a release German suplex. And Marty and Kushida go all Indy-rific pinfall reverse sequence. I like that. And then Dalton ends up hitting takedowns on everyone. And next thing you know, Takahashi ends up fighting back with snap ranas to everyone. Marty goes for a moonsault. He misses. Kushida hits the moonsault. And Takahashi and Dalton break it up. So Kushida starts working the arm. And then Marty with a big lariat. And the back springboard, the handspring back elbow gets caught, and there's the chicken wing. Kushida counters out. He's looking for the hoverboard lock, but it's to no avail. It's on for like 2 seconds. It's no avail. So Hiromu comes in with Dalton. They hit stereo Germans, and Dalton hits the bangerang on Hiromu. And here comes Adam Page, and he pulls the ref. Interesting. Very interesting. Marty grabs the umbrella and he jabs. Excuse me. Marty grabs the umbrella and he jabs. And then, of course, the next thing you know, he goes to swing. Kushida ends up hitting the baseball punch. And then a very weird looking version of Back to the Future. And gets the win on Dalton Castle. So, yeah. This is interesting because this was a comedy match that was literally mixed up with a regular match. So this was like the best of both worlds.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for the title change to happen, in all honesty. Because I think, let's be honest, this show was never supposed to be a thing.
No, God, no. It was a house show.
Even on the TV last week, apparently they were going, oh, by the way, there's a show that you can catch live next week.
Right.
Because obviously it wasn't on pay-per-view television. It's just the iPay-per-view through Fight that you could watch it. So it's good that they put it up there as, an alternative to NXT, or I guess a double header, if you will, if you're playing it like that, like we are.
Right.
But I think because the next one would be, I think, Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah, it's the one we can't cover.
But yeah, the one that falls when
Horror Nights.
I'm busy. No, actually, no. Well, yeah, you're busy Horror Nights. I wouldn't be because what mine would clash with whatever the September pay-per-view is from WWE that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same week anyway. Death Before Dishonor's on the Friday, and then it's No Mercy, isn't it? The September 24th one.
I was getting ready to say that, but I wasn't sure off the top of my head.
I think. So yeah, I'm sort of out all that weekend in all honesty. So yeah, I wouldn't even be able to. Then again, if I might be able to catch. I know I wouldn't be up that early to try and get to the convention. So either way, but it makes sense to do it at that or somewhere down the line.
Right, I'd say so.
And then now this is interesting because I've seen from some reports that this match may have ruined the main event.
Yeah, I could totally see where you're coming from there.
To some extent.
I mean, they gave it 12 minutes. And of course, we're talking about the Ring of Honor tag title match with the Young Bucks defending against the Addiction. Right away, the Addiction turns into the heels because the tremendous run for Chris Daniels, finally winning the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship after all these years, finally becoming a world champion, being a babyface. Stuff doesn't matter. Let's cheer the Bullet Club.
That's the Bullet Club. That's the main issue with Bullet Club. It's just they're so over when they're supposed to be heels because people like their work. It's like that's what's going to happen, man.
Chris, I appreciate you watching the Sip and Snacks very much, and you don't have to be worried to send a Sip and Snack over. Now,
Still, I'm intrigued.
This match was really good. I'll explain. So heat on the Bucks immediately, and they fight back. They go for Rise of the Terminator, but it's stopped. So the Addiction get out of the way. So Super Kick is stopped by Chris Daniels because Kaz wasn't able to take it there. Nick gets pulled to the outside, gets sent to the end of the barricade. So they work Nick over, and Nick hits a drop kick. Finally, hot tag to Matt. Matt comes in. Kaz low bridges them over the top of the outside, and they get heat on Matt for a little bit, and they do some double teams. And it's funny because there is a moonsault attempt by the Addiction, one from Kaz, and Matt gets the knees up, and then one from Daniels, which wasn't really the BME or anything, but he did end up getting the knees up, so I thought that was done really well.
Oh, I'm just looking at Twitter. Asuka just made that fat bloke look stupid. You know, the England is my city guy?
Right.
Asuka's just said, New York, this is my city.
Oh, boy.
New York is a city.
God.
Also, I think she's ruined tonight's main event because 6 hours ago she tweeted a pivotal point that determines the changed course of destiny.
Oh, God.
Well done, Asuka. You ruined the finish.
That's what happens. So, like I said, we get heat for a little bit. Matt, the sharpshooter, Daniels fights out of it, and Kaz gets taken out. Daniels gets the ropes at the last minute. Right before he's able to get the ropes perfectly, Nick hits the slingshot into the facebuster, and then he hits a swing tornado DDT onto Kazarian on the outside. Daniels finally gets the ropes, and the Bucks set up the buckle bomb high kick combination. Daniels' run is out of it, and that ends up making the Bucks collide. So Matt escapes Angel's wings, super kick. They hit the sharpshooters at the same time, and they two-sweet each other while they're in the sharpshooter, have the sharpshooter locked on. The Addiction eats super kicks. I thought that was really cool. So they set up more bang for your buck, and Kaz stops it. And Kaz hits the Finley roll, and they end up trying to get more bang for your buck with, well, actually, Daniels hits the Finley roll, and this leads to Kaz with the 180 leg drop off the top, and then the best moonsault ever, which, of course, the best Meltzer ever is what they're setting up here. And Nick saves it with a swanton, and they start fighting. He starts fighting the Addiction by himself, and they hit the Viano killer and Celebrity Rehab. Nick kicks out right at 3. And they can't put the Bucks away no matter what they do. And this leads to setting up the best Meltzer ever. And they get caught in the tree of Joey Lawrence. Daniels is fighting it out. He's stuck. He's not going anywhere. And he has to watch Kaz eat the Meltzer driver. And that's the end.
Meltzer driver, you say?
Yes! The Chinlock horn is back. And of course, like we mentioned before, it's going to be the Bucks and Hangman Page trying to get the 6-man tag belts off of Dalton and the boys tomorrow. Yeah, I can see what you mean, that this actually was an issue with bringing people down about the main event. Because as much as I like the main event, number one, it went 20 minutes. And number two, there was a lot of fans that were kind of out of it by that time. Sadly.
I honestly think most people just want to see the Bucks, and that's it. That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, last night at GFW, for example, a good explanation. Right after the main event was over, the match between Matt Sydal and Eli Drake, we finally had that. And the next thing you know, people started leaving. And then it's like Lashley gets Moose, and that's coming up next, and people are still leaving. So I was like, okay, sure. So we get our main event.
Oh, dear.
Main event time, Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Cody taking on Sonata. Cody does the stalling like he does oh so well. And he doesn't like Sonata getting all the cheers here. And then the next thing you know, they work back and forth, and Sonata gets out of the way of Beautiful Disaster with a Pillman counter. And for layman's terms, that means a drop kick. And Cody bails, and this leads to Naito on the top of the ramp. Is like, nope. And here comes Sonata from the outside and tosses Cody back in. And then Cody gets the upper hand, slams Sonata into the announce table. And then into the barricade, and he does the hanging vertical suplex for a near fall. Sonata heads up top. Cody hits a arm drag off the top, and he starts mocking him. Okay, here's the fun thing. He does push-ups. Ian on commentary makes a reference to Gary Stridham.
Okay.
So, Ian Riccoboni to WWE confirmed. Because no one else would make a World Bodybuilding Federation reference in 2017, mind you, unless they had indication to go to the WWE.
Pretty much.
And, of course, this backfired on Cody because when he was doing the 10 push-ups, of course, he got a 10 chant. Locks Sonata in a half crab, locks in the figure 4, but he turns it into an Indian death lock. Basically, it's a trailer hitch. And he gets the ropes. And here's the fun part. So, after this happens, Cody's on the ring apron. He's stalling. Sonata knocks him off the ring apron onto Ian. This is when fun started. So BJ's like, help, help. I need you to finish this show. Help. And I'm like, oh, God, this is crazy. And Ian's dead to the world here. Or at least he was momentarily. He does end up eventually coming back in to finish the match. But Sonata ends up rolling him back in the ring, drop kick, hits a pescado. And then in the ring, he's got the Paradise Lock. And, of course, the Paradise Lock leads to one thing, and that is a straight field goal kick right between the uprights. And that means right between Cody's cheeks. And Sonata goes for the TKO. Cody gets out of the way. Beautiful disaster. Near fall off of it. Crowd doesn't buy it. Don't know why. Cody goes for the moonsault press. Sonata out of the way. So, Lamai Straw for a near fall. And they end up going for it one more time. Cody ends up spitting at Sonata. That was a bad idea. Here's the fun thing. He gets Sonata to charge him. Cody ends up accidentally clotheslining Sonata, the referee in this match.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a roll-up. There's no referee. Referee's down here. And Cody gets hit by Crossroads, but the referee's down. Todd Sinclair dead to the world. So there's no referee, so a clothesline is stopped, roll up, and Cody locks in the label lock.
Okay.
Sonata gets to the ropes, and this is where I get to my wonderful note, because he gets his foot on the bottom ropes. Cody starts doing the yes chants in the middle of the ring and says to the camera, I'm waiting on you, Bryan Danielson.
Again, from the notes that I've got, basically, even after the match, he called him out.
I got that. Don't worry. I took notes. Don't worry. That's the reason I had to finish.
I swear we're literally doing this just because of that Edge and Christian podcast from yesterday.
You know, Uncle Dave said it's probably going to be a certainty, regardless where it is. I would not be surprised if it's Kerry Silkin that it ends up with.
Well, no, it'd be, what's his name? Who's Joe Koff?
Joe Koff, yeah. Joe Koff now for Sinclair. So he puts Sonata on the top, and he climbs up going for the superplex, and, of course, Sonata slides out, hits a release powerbomb. They get back to action one more time. He blocks the whip, does Cody. Inverted suplex countered into the skull end. And that's the end of that. Cody counters back again and hits Crossroads and wins it. So Cody gets on the mic, says, "Did you guys have a good time tonight?" I'm paraphrasing here. I didn't. Had it been Chicago, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Toronto, or even Dublin, no, it was in the sweat hog capital of the world, of the motherland, Liverpool. You are nothing. This crowd's not too sweet. It's too cold, too dirty, and too damn poor.
And they cheered him anyway.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Why are you trying to be a heel, you dumb shit?
He does have,
seriously.
According to Uncle Dave, he has the shirt that everyone is wearing. Heck, I wore it yesterday to Impact, to be honest. And
the FTR one.
Oh no! I don't have that one. So he says, "I come out here not to shoot on this town. I came out here to ask who's left. Who's left?" Here comes Dalton Castle. He says, "I'm out here to say hello in a very unfriendly way." And he's like, "Hello." Furthermore, confirming Dalton Castle is Jack Black in makeup. 100%. He says, "I love these people. But until a couple of minutes ago, they loved you. But I'm sure they don't now. But I don't either. If you want to start apologizing, you can apologize to me. If it wasn't for you sending Hangman out, I would be Ring of Honor World Television Champion right now. And there's two things I love. I love winning championships, and I love kicking people's asses. Who's left?"
I'm left, bitch.
No. Oh my! It's exactly what he said, and it was great. He drops the Ring of Honor 6-man tag belt because reasons, and he basically says exactly what Ashley just said. And Cody gets ready, like they're gonna lock up. Cody's like, and he powders out to the outside. So we've set up Dalton Castle and Cody as your next program for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. Yes, for Death Before Dishonor.
Which part of me then thinks, okay, does that mean that the Bucks and Page are getting the 6-man belts in Edinburgh?
I think it's very possible. And I wouldn't be surprised if that. I mean, I don't know at this point, to be totally honest, what they're doing with the show tomorrow. But I could see very soon it could be nothing but Bullet Club holding all the gold. We've done it before, but I think that we're going to see it again. The only problem is you're going to get the TV title off Kushida.
Well, you know.
Which is hard to do.
Kenny's a possibility. Marty's a possibility.
Yep.
Ospreay would be an interesting thing.
I mean, if
they wanted to be interesting, have it change hands on one of the WCPW shows.
Now that's a possibility.
You know, I mean, okay, it probably was for nothing, like how Scorpio Sky challenged Cody for the Ring of Honor title, you know, at the Wrestle Circus show a few weeks back.
Right.
If you remember, we had a triple threat match between Daniels and who else was it? I'm trying to think. Was it Lethal?
Daniels, Lethal, and yeah. Was it El Ligero?
It was. I know it was on one of the Ring of Honor. It was on the WCPW cards, and I can't remember which. WCPW Daniels. Oh, it was Bulletproof with Adam Cole. Oh, yep. It was Adam Cole and Daniels.
Yep. Looking at it right now, actually. And then it was Adam Cole, Lethal, and Ligero.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember who it was.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, it was Adam and Zack Sabre Jr., and then Daniels got added in.
Here's the thing, Ashley. Kushida needs to drop the TV title, but he's not in Atlanta. He's not booked for Atlanta, and I don't know if he's booked for Death Before Dishonor because it hasn't been announced yet.
Probably. As Poro Wrestler actually updated the end cards, I'd have to look.
Because right now, you don't have Kushida involved in a singles match tomorrow. It's the 6-man. So that's not going to work. Kushida will still be champion, and we may not see the Ring of Honor television title defended in Ring of Honor until Global Wars.
Schedule. See if it says on their website. Road to Destruction, September 5th, 7th, and 9th. 2 of them at Kurikan. Destruction in Fukushima will be the first big one, September 10th.
Right.
And you got Destruction in Hiroshima on the 16th, and then... Okay, so there's only there's 2 more pages. God damn it. And Destruction in Kobe on the 24th. Could do it on... Well, okay, so if Destruction in Kobe is happening September 24th, he probably ain't doing Death Before Dishonor. I'd have thought. King of Pro Wrestling's October 9th. Just looking to see when Power Struggle is. Power Struggle is November 5th. So, and then with Ring of Honor's schedule, they're doing TV tapings. When's the other TV tapings thing? October 20th. So there's a possibility there.
Yeah, it's true.
Because of course you've also the only other stuff that will be happening is the New Japan Cup stuff. Also, the tapings on October the 20th. I mean, okay, there is a Kurikan Hall show on the 23rd as part of the Road to Power Struggle. But there is then another Kurikan Hall show, a second one, the following Sunday.
Right.
So, but then if Kushida did have a title on the line, there's enough of a chance that they could have it on one of the TV tapings or whatever.
Possibly.
Or possibly part of the Global War stuff, remember? Because the Global War stuff, the Japan guys are coming over. Because Kenny's on them.
Right.
So I think that's when it had happened. Probably. So it's that October through 12th through 15th gap that you could see a title change if it doesn't happen at any other point.
It's very possible. So I think that's probably going to conclude our show.
Yeah, part 1.
Well, I mean, there's no part 1. You join us in a couple of hours for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
Yeah, bro. I don't even know what to call that one. I'm trying to think of a witty third. What was it? I guess it's a trap. We're going on the Blue Harvest trilogy.
Nice. So yeah, join us later tonight. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn right after, as soon as it's over. So tentatively starting at 10:30 tonight, and tomorrow will be SummerSlam as soon as it's over.
Actually, let's double check. See if the network's gone. Yeah, it's longer. Just in case they have. No, it's still listed as 2.5 hours. Thank God.
Yes.
And SummerSlam is still listed as 4. But considering all they've got on is that and nothing else, who knows? Oh, and it doesn't even matter if you don't watch the bloody Mae Young Classic stuff after SummerSlam, because they're showing it anyway after Raw. I can confirm, looking at the listings for the next 7 days of the network.
There you go.
And also because, wow, what What? Sorry, I'm just looking. Next Sunday, their pay-per-view presentation is going to be Road Wild 98. Yeah, the Jay Leno one. I swear they're doing it just for Brian and Vinny.
That's a really good bet. So, like I said, that's our show tonight. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. I appreciate everyone in chat. Jeremy Mills joining us for a little bit. Chris Lynch, you asked a bunch of questions. We did enjoy you.
We speed fired them because they didn't have that much to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
I want to try and stay on point, you know.
Especially for
the derailing shit happens when we talk about Kaiju Big Battle. Then all bets are off. Exactly. That only happens like once a year during WrestleMania weekend. Dusto Bunny.
Exactly.
Kung Fu Chicken Noodle.
So
French waffle.
Oh boy. So on that note, we're back here in a few hours. So join us for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn tonight and SummerSlam tomorrow, Raw Monday night, and our Wednesday Wrestling Podcast on Wednesday night. I almost be inclined to do a show on Tuesday night, but nope, I'm going Impact. So yeah, we're gonna have a day. We'll have a day off, and then we'll go into Wednesday, and then the next time we'll do this will be it's been a while.
I wouldn't recommend you doing drugs, Chris, unless it's actually advised by your doctor or physician. Just saying.
Probably a good idea. So thank everyone for joining us tonight. Follow me on Twitter at Siro and Disney. Follow Ashley on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK. Check out Ashley's content here on the network, gaming and or otherwise, available usually every Sunday and Monday. This week there will be a gaming video and most likely coming out, I'm going to guess, on Monday.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a quick look through. Probably... To be honest, I've actually got cover because thanks to Germany being Germany, Xbox's press conference, I believe, is tomorrow, which I won't even be able to see live because I need to catch Dark Tower before I record a podcast before I even do SummerSlam. So, yeah, a bit busy. And I'll have to shoot that then afterwards because then I've got to be up to see, what is it? A second visit to Dunkirk and then Hitman's Bodyguard and a mystery film, which probably is Wind River. All in the space of a day, right before Raw. So, and then you've got Stacked and SmackDown and the Pro Wrestling World Cup and shit, kill me.
All the stuff for Wednesday's show.
Yeah.
Sip and Snack returns next Thursday, as always. Wrestling content every Monday, every Thursday, every Wednesday, and occasionally Saturdays and Sundays. So that's going to be your show tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. If you didn't check out our Destination X Popcast from last night. And hopefully we'll see you back here tonight for NXT TakeOver. Tomorrow for SummerSlam, Monday for Raw, and Wednesday for the Wednesday Wrestling Podcast. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more tonight you have chosen a podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. And until a little bit later, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Everything is evil.